Having convenience in life makes it easier. And when it comes to keeping consistency and progress at your workouts, we can spend a good amount of time in choosing some gadgets that we can use to improve our performance in our workouts, as well as to correctly progressively overload, especially if you're stuck in some exercise like the bench press, which sadly I was too. So make sure to stick to the end of the video so you can take away the 10 gadgets that I use almost in every single workout, for what I use them to and where you can buy these gadgets, including the price though. But if you want to know right now, you can also check the links down below in my own description where I sell every of these gadgets, or most of them, right? Because you can look them at Amazon too, or on their own website. So when it comes to spending money, we need to be sure what are the best gadgets for us so we can have more ease, more convenience, and most of all, a better performance at the gym. But these 10 gadgets that I have are just a game changer. Trust me, they're a game changer. It makes my workouts just way more easier, way more fun, way more creative. So before telling you which are the 10 gadgets that I use, let me explain first the training principle of progressive overload, because it's something very important that you should implement in every single training routine. So basically, progressively overloading or progressive overload is when we increase the intensity, aka doing more weight, more reps, more sets, or even slow down the tempo for a greater time under tension. Now the thing is that in some exercises we want only to increase the weight, and this is a big problem because maybe when you increase even just 5 pounds, you can even do your rep range number. And so this is the reason I will mention the first gadget, and it's number 1, microplates. Microplates. When it comes to microplates, it's a great way to add some pounds, just a little tiny pounds, where you can do it for those exercises that you have been stuck on week by week. So this way you are sure you progress slowly, but you are still growing and performing better, even though it's just 2 extra pounds on the bar than on your last week you did, for example on your bench. You can also buy a combination from 0.25 pounds all the way of pairs of 1 pound, which are the ones I personally have, where I store them in this little net bag, as I call my gym toys. And also a good toy to have is number 2, and it's a tripod. And I have personally 2 types of tripods. I have one big tripod and one smaller one. I mostly use the big one. Right now I'm using the big one, but I think this is one of my best purchases, really, because first, the one I currently have and recording right now can be up to 6 feet tall. The camera has a gooseneck to record in some sorts of angles, and it's made of mostly metal, which is way more durable and way more resistant to impact. What the good thing about this gadget is that you can allow yourself to see how you are doing an exercise. It's amazing, right? Because maybe there's no mirrors available at the gym, which happens a lot. So you may be thinking that you are doing an exercise right until you see your form in your video recorded on your tripod, right? Yeah, it happens, I know. So I highly recommend that this one, as this has been a must for me because I record my videos too for this own channel, like I just mentioned right now. And number 3 is gonna be the weight plate holders, or weight clippers, how you name it. I don't know why I name weight plate holders, but in part with the microplates, I think having the weight plate holder is also a good gadget just for the sake of security. Let me explain. As some gyms for some reason don't have these clips for securing the weight plates, or they do have it but it's just way harder to use them. So these ones that are of hard plastic are just a good add, as this is also very easy to attach and to get off the barbells, and they are very cheap too. Check it down below in my description, as you can see the variety of colors you can choose from. Now this is also great at when you do some certain exercises like the squats, deadlifts, and also overhead presses, where you should keep the plates very immobile. And talking about deadlifts, actually, another great gadget that some of us may have been using, but I'm still gonna mention, is number 4, and it's the wrist straps or hand straps. I don't know how you name it either, but this is a good gadget for those who need some assistance with your grip in back exercises, because some of us don't have a good grip strength. We need to work on that too, as well as some exercises that require very hard grip strength, just like I mentioned. So this is one of those essential gadgets that makes your performance just 10 times better, trust me. Make sure to choose a comfortable one though, as some of us are made of different materials. Some are more cheap, some are more expensive, which leads to a less or more comfortable use. I use this when I do any type of deadlift. As for my back exercises, I just rather to just focus on also, working on my grip strengths. And also you should practice bringing this next gadget every session, and it's number 5, and it's a towel. I know that for some of us it may be a hassle to bring the towel because it's made too big, it fits a lot in your big gym bag, but having a towel is a great way for a leg session where we tend to sweat a lot. That's the point. Than in other sessions like training our upper body, for example. But some gyms are still implementing the rule of having a towel, so make sure to bring always one to also use it if there is a machine that maybe it doesn't look too good, or if someone before you used it and he or she sweated a lot. So that's the cool thing of having a towel, so you can avoid these types of cases where you leave all your sweat in the bench. Now, talking about sweat, it's very important to replace your electrolytes, and number 6 is water flask/container, because being hydrated during your session has been shown in some studies to improve performance because of the electrolyte balancing in our bodies. So make sure to always bring a water container that is pretty big, so it can hold the right amount of water, so it can take up to the entire session. Like I use this one, which is a 26-ounce Rambler from Yeti. Especially if you're doing some sort of aerobic training after resistance training, you need to have a bigger one. I really highly recommend Yeti water containers. They're made of metal, which is way more better than plastic, which I use it for different occasions. I also have different sizes depending on if I use it for pre-workout, for my coffee, or other types of drinks like electrolyte drinks. Now, when it comes to doing a new PR on a gym, on your routine, a good gadget to have is number 7, is a weighted belt. This is a great addition if you want to progressively overload in a body weight exercises like the pull-up, chin-ups, and also dips, which are just a great way to see how much you can go. As I use this one, I bought on Amazon, and as you can see, it can hold a lot of 45-pound plates, enough for you to get a great pump at your back or chest muscles, right? And talking about the pump, another great gadget to add to your gym bag is number 8, and is resistance bands. I really recommend resistance bands, and here's why. This is also a great way to add more resistance in a lot of ways to different exercises you do. But this is also a great tool for stretching, for mobility, and making sure your joints work well, because we need to stretch sometimes. And what I love about them is that you can use them to make a full workout when there is no gym available, if you are traveling or are short in time, for example. But this has so many functions and resistances that you can just progressively overload in your exercises on your own routine, as well as using them in a warm-ups or stretches like I use them personally. Also, talking about effective exercises, a more effective attachment actually is this one, and it's number 9, and it's going to be the long rope attachment. Now, this is one of the most current ones I have bought. This has been a game changer, guys. Trust me, this has been way a game changer for me. As I always use, my tricep push down with the ropes of the gym, which are more short. But when I bought this one and saw how much of a greater stretch you can achieve with your triceps, with the way you do like this, it's really worth your money if you are interested in buying this one. So I highly recommend it. Lastly, do you want to have even more fun? Well, my number 10 and last gadget for this video is going to be headphones. Any type of a good pair of headphones. Actually, have you seen that some people don't use headphones and don't listen to music in the gym? No judge if you do it, of course, no judge. But sometimes, the gym music just makes you want to get away from the gym. My God, sometimes the music is just terrible. And having a good pair of headphones is just a must have, so you can listen to the best bangers, of course, if you want to improve your performance. And also to make new PRs at the gym, of course. I really personally use the ones of Project Rock of JBL when I bought them back then almost 3 years ago. They have worked very well, but the only con is that you need to make sure that you clean the cushions like every 1 to 2 months or so, because trust me, they are gonna start smelling very bad, trust me. So if you want to avoid the smell, wash them, all right? So I really enjoy my workouts when I started to see how I can improve my performance, and these 10 gadgets have been just made wonders for me, and we'll still do it on all of my future sessions because they're so convenient, where I can just be more creative, you know, and come up with a lot of new ways to train and different exercises in some sort of ways, so I can keep progressing in different ways, getting bigger and getting stronger. And if you have this goal in mind and want some personalized assistance, make sure to also check my personal training link also down below in the description. So if I help you buy something that will help you on your journey, make sure to subscribe and also like if you really learned something new so you can apply it on your workouts. Lastly, see this guide on how to correctly lose fat.